Welcome all of you. Today we will be talking to Aparna Jadhav, ma'am, Gaurav Gupta, sir, and Pooja Mishra, ma'am. And for the title of today's spotlight session is Author, a Profession of Creativity. First of all, how are you guys?
We are doing great.
Yeah, all
I'm
good.
fine,
All
thank
good.
you.
Okay, so without further ado, I would require you guys to give a brief introduction about yourselves. So we're gonna start with Aparna ma'am.
Hi, I'm Aparna Jadhav. I have just written this book. It's known called Paradise Sucked. Okay. Uh, this book is about divorce and what a lady goes after divorce and how she can come out of it, and basically about women empowerment in general. So it's a novel. I mean, anyone can read it, but it's based on divorce basically. Personal life, I'm a single mom. My daughter is 14, and I work for an MNC. So this is something I do on the side. So that's about me. I've just started on my journey, rather, of the author journey. So far, so good. I've got a lot of good reviews, people appreciating my work. So happy nowadays.
Congratulations, ma'am. And
Thank you so much.
Gaurav sir.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Gaurav Gupta. I work for Government of India as Additional Director. I am a researcher and I have done a lot of research work in the area of cybercrime investigation and digital forensics. So I saw a lot of frauds were happening, and I was investigating a lot of frauds for law enforcement agencies and helping them solve cases. And I realized that 80 to 90% of cyber crimes are avoidable. They just happen because we are not very careful or we don't know certain things. So I decided to write about it, where I've written a book, Cyber Unsafe, and this book basically is about how you can avoid cyber crimes in a non-technical manner. It's a storybook, small, relatable, appealing stories which are independent to each other, but they tell you a message that okay, how the criminals are doing frauds, and what can you do? How can you change your digital habits while using smartphones and internet and doing stuff in cyber world, so that you can avoid cyber crimes from happening, and you can be ready to take the benefit of technology rather than getting scared from the technology that somebody will exploit you. So again, I'm overwhelmed with the response which I have got. People tell me that this was a gap area which has been filled, and I'm continuing my journey, and I'm a first time author, and probably this gives me hope to write more on these areas. And this is a book which is helpful for young children to elderly people, because everybody is using technology. So we should, and idea of this book is to avoid cyber crimes, and that's what I tell people, that by reading this book you can avoid most of the cyber crimes. Thank you.
Super.
Wonderful, sir. And Pooja ma'am.
Hi, I'm Pooja Mishra. You might be remembering me from the worldwide viral meme, Pooja, what is this behavior? I've just published my first book. It's called Yes, You Can Be a Viral Reality Show Star, where I'm literally hand-holding people to fulfill their dreams, to make it big in reality television. And I'm going to start my online webinars very soon, which is the second step to this book. And the third step is my own award-winning reality show, Spare Me the Crab Mentality, where I've created success stories right from the first episode. I've helped people get break in show business. So I have written 3 more books. So I've written 4 books in totality, but this is my first published work. And I'm really heartened to know that it's gone on to become an Amazon bestseller. So I'm very thrilled that people are liking all that's written in the book. And I just hope that all the people who don't have any guidance, who don't have any godfathers, and are confused about how to make it big in reality television, pick up this book or get in touch with me for my online webinars.
Wonderful,
Great.
ma'am. Okay. So now beginning the session with my first question, and that is, how would you describe creativity in writing? So I'm gonna begin with you, sir, Gaurav, sir.
Yeah. So, creativity is extremely important in writing because most of us can write, but something which is written using creatively appeals to the people and the audience, and it helps you connect with them. So, if you are writing something by understanding the pulse of the people, by finding out what are the gaps in a particular area, and in a manner that it engages them, it helps them in some way. Not only it entertains them, but it also enhances their understanding, knowledge. So that connection can only come if you are creative. So the book which I've written, the best part is that the most compliments which I've got is the way it has been written. The creatively it has been arranged, the creatively it has been thought, and the overall layout of the things which has been planned. So that part is something which people have liked most, and that is why this book is touching the heart of the people, and that's where they are liking it. So creativity, according to me, is the most important part of any writing to become successful.
And what would you like to say, Aparna ma'am?
So also, I mean, just to expand more on what Gaurav is saying, I think creativity is what also makes a product a very unique thing. I mean, as he rightly said, anyone can write on any topic. However, how you express yourself, your own creativity is, I think, very unique to every person. My writing style would be very different from maybe Pooja's or maybe Gaurav's. So which is why it gives out a lot of you have a lot of things to share which are so unique and so uh, I mean, just for yourself. And when you express with that kind level of intensity, or it makes a lot of difference in how you portray. I guess all that is a part of creativity, how you can just flow with it. So that's what I feel.
Absolutely, ma'am. I agree with everything you both have said up till now. And Pooja, ma'am.
Well, I think creativity is pretty much the, oil which runs the machinery of good writing. And I feel that how you satiate people's curiosity using your imagination as well as the logic that you've used in your writing is what eventually sets you apart and makes you a creative writer. So I feel that creativity is very, very integral to good writing, and it depends on each individual how they like to express themselves, the way Aparna just said. So I feel that it is mandatory that you should be creative in the way you write to stand out in a crowd and to make sense and appeal to people.
Totally, totally agree.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, ma'am, is creativity something which comes naturally to people, or can one learn and be trained in it?
You've muted.
Aparna, ma'am, what would you like to say?
So see, I creativity, there are courses people can of course attend. There are these workshops that are held. There are retreats that are held for writers to improve on their creativity, on their style. But personally, as that's a personal feeling, I might be wrong, but I feel that to enhance anything, you need that mold to begin with. I feel creativity or anything that you express, it's a form of expression, right? Like if I find the best mode of expressing myself is through words, it's through talking, it's especially through writing. That's my way of expressing myself. And a painter might expresses through paintings, a dancer expresses through dancing. So that mold, you know what I'm saying? If I try to dance, I could never be a amazing dancer. Whereas that, because that dancer has something that is natural. Yes, you can expand on that, you can make it extremely beautiful, start learning that. But I think it's a mix of both, and I think both, uh, it's necessary. Both the things are necessary. You can't just train someone, then it won't be that original, that content that that we are talking about, because that doesn't come naturally. I hope I don't. That's how I believe. That's something that mold is necessary. If that is not there, then even if you're doing a course, there are people who there is Gulzar Saab, and there are others who you feel like, oh, while the lyrics are good, it's just not Gulzar. He
Yeah,
is a natural, you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's like inborn, and I'm not saying that others are not, but what I'm
He was
trying
a
to say is,
born
if someone,
poet.
yes, it is from inside. You can't hide that kind of a talent, because
Yeah,
that is just there. And if there's someone, like, people are, I feel everyone's born with something. Anything it could be. It could be acting, it could be anything, any of those. But that mold needs to be there a little bit. And
and
then you
they would be
expand it, of course.
natural. So
Correct.
when you've given this example of a dancer, suddenly Madhuri ma'am came to my mind. Okay, so
Exactly.
when
Exactly.
Madhuri ma'am dances, no, it looks like she's being natural. Okay, she's not being
True.
feigned.
That's what I was.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel she doesn't need a choreographer also. But when I see other dancers, they are good, but they are just not that genuine. So I feel like
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
I'm
That's
agreeing that both the things needs to be there. And what would
correct.
you like
Correct.
to say, Pooja ma'am?
Well, I would agree with Aparna completely, because you need to have an inherent natural sense of creativity, and then you can hone your skill, polish it through workshops and through training. But if the inherent fountain of creativity is not within you, if you don't have a foundation to work on and
Yeah,
to upskill yourself, then it's very difficult. Then you come across as artificial, you come across
yeah,
as contrived, you come across as hackneyed, you come across as repetitive. There are many
Correct.
things which cause
Correct.
blockages to a
true,
creative
true.
person or creative writing. So I feel that it's very important that you should have a spark. If you have a spark, it can be worked into making it into a full-fledged flame. But if you don't even have a spark, then it's very difficult to develop the talent of being a creative writer.
And
True.
most
True.
importantly, also that you should have a will to learn. Most
Yes.
importantly, even if you are not born, with this much of a talent of being a creative person, but if you have a will, you will learn it. But it'll take much more time, but eventually I feel like you will learn it at the end of the day. Do you agree with me,
Yeah,
ma'am?
I feel that one has to be open, one has to be positive, one has to be optimistic. These are very enthusiastic. These are very important ingredients in the whole creative process. Because if you have these ingredients in your psyche, then you are able to learn, you're able to blossom, you're able to flourish. If you don't have enthusiasm, if you don't have openness, then you're stuck. Then you get a writer's block. So that's why to
Right.
be open-minded is very important.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
absolutely. And Gaurav
बाद
sir.
में. So, what I believe that what is most important is you need to believe in yourself, because if you believe and identify what creativity you have, you can actually polish it and develop it, and then also learn on top of it. You also need to express and continuously keep on trying, because if you believe and spot the right talent which you have, and you keep on polishing and keep on trying, I'm sure that you are going to get very well on that particular part.
True. See, you know what? As we say, both the ingredients are necessary. Both. You can't have just one. You need both.
Okay, so innovation or writing, according to the trends, which do you prefer and why? Gaurav sir.
So what happens is, when you are innovating and you're creative, then let's say if you want to express it, writing is one of the medium, right? Like, I was troubled by the frauds, cyber frauds and cyber crimes which were happening around me. So I found that it is troubling me. I can't help everybody by talking to them and being everywhere. So writing was the most easy medium for me. So, I use my creativity so that, I don't wanted to write a technical jargon book which nobody reads, although it will help, but then it will not be interested. So the creativity was very important to make this book, easy to understand, appealing in terms of, I'm telling the information through stories. And that is how this creativity and innovation has been used to write a book which can now help people safeguard against computer frauds and cybercrime. So I think how you use your creativity will determine whether you will be successful or not successful. So you need to now understand the pulse, and you need to understand the psyche of the people. Who are your audience? Whom are you going to do this effort? So you need to, at times people do a lot of effort, but they do forget who are their audience, whom they are targeting. So you need to align all these things together to get the best result.
Absolutely, sir. And Pooja ma'am.
Well, I feel that innovation is very important as far as writing is concerned, as opposed to writing according to the trends. Because, they compare a pen to a sword. So a pen is a very powerful weapon. It can change a lot of things. It can be a game changer. So I feel innovation is very important in writing. Of course, knowing your audience and writing according to that is very important. That's the technical aspect of it. But to be innovative and to bring something new to the table is very, very important. Because, in today's day and age, everybody suffers from a lot of dogma. A lot of stereotypes are available all over the world. So to slice it by your pen, which is also known as a sword, by your innovativeness, by doing something different, by having the guts to stand against the current, it's very important. So I feel innovation definitely ranks higher for me as far as writing is concerned, as opposed to writing according to the trends.
Absolutely, ma'am. And Aparna ma'am.
I think I really agree with both, Gaurav and Pooja here, especially, the way Pooja said pen is compared to a sword. Imagine if, we didn't have a J.K. Rowling. Imagine we wouldn't have any of those amazing books that we have. Imagine we didn't have a Stephanie Meyer. These are topics, these are topics people didn't write. They're the first people who ever wrote such topics. Who thought, any of, Harry Potter would ever imagine someone coming up with something like that. And if she had followed the trend and had no originality there, what was the sense? We wouldn't, books let our imagination soar. Yeah, that is the way we actually build our imagination. That's how we flow. You imagine. I like those books better than the movies. So so for me, I'm a reader. So for me, because I like it better, it imagine not having that. I can't imagine a world like that. So I think originality takes the cake any day. Any day, I think that is, or innovation is a must. Any day,
It is a
wouldn't
must.
follow crowd. Doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. Doesn't
Not
make
even
sense if
in
you're following the
writing,
crowd. Why are
in
you
every
writing?
field, I feel.
Yeah, in every field, what's the point? What imagine not having the moonwalk. Imagine having no Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
imagine that? No, you can't. He is the first person who
Absolutely.
did it. You can't
Yeah.
imagine that, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's necessary. Without
True,
it, you
true.
don't have a spunk, you don't have the X factor. What is the point? Why are you
Yeah.
doing it?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
So
What tips and tricks would you like to give to all the budding writers out there on how to start being creative and innovative in terms of writing? And Pooja, ma'am, what would you like to say?
Well, like I was saying earlier, I would recommend all the writers to be open minded, to be enthusiastic, to be optimistic in this whole journey of being creative. I would tell them to document, their life, take photographs, write down things, and be very aware, because being creative is also being spontaneous and aware. So to be very aware and to be very spontaneous, and when you document your life through pictures and through writing in your diary, you're very aware of what's going on. Where are you and where do you want to go? You're very clear. So it gives you clarity. And yeah, these are some of the things that I think they should do to, become more creative, because the whole process becomes a whole load simpler and enjoyable when you are doing these things, full of enthusiasm, documenting things, totally aware. You know how to use your imagination, in a correct manner, which gets the creative juices flowing. Also satiating people's curiosity through your writing, through your creativity. Like, I can say something in a very boring way, but I can say the same thing in a creative, interesting way also. So, knowing the difference between boring and creative and trying to stick to the tangent of being creative all the time are some of the tips that I would like to give budding writers.
True.
I'm agreeing with every word, and I'm gonna add one thing, that if you really want to do something, if you really want to achieve one particular thing, and you have that will in yourself, it will happen. Even if it will take months and years, but if you're doing it, I'm not saying with the same approach, but with different approaches, it will be done. And I'm very clear on that,
Correct.
sir. And ma'am,
Sure.
and Aparna ma'am, what would you like to say?
So, see, the tips Pooja gave are really good. What I would also request any budding or so, for example, what genre you're writing in. I would request them to go ahead and read books in relation to that genre, because it helps you to understand. I mean, no one understand what that particular genre contains or what it expects out of you. So if you're writing fiction, for example, read fiction. If you're writing self-help book, read more self-help books to understand that language, understand what is expected out of a self-help book, or what is expected out of read authors who are known. It really helps you to understand what kind of writing it is. It's different. It's different. um, Also, another thing that has helped me personally is creativity. Something ideas strike you just like this. Like, I could be just driving and something might come to my mind, and I always made a point of writing it down. So my book I was writing almost 2 years before, but I didn't write 2 years. It didn't take me 2 years to write. Everything data that I was keeping on collecting, like anything that I found, like, oh my god, this should help, I used to note it down. Anything I would, and that those things come to you at any point of time, it might come to you. But slowly that data that you collect is gets so huge that it in itself, when you start writing, it's like a storyboard which is already formed for you, because you have that much of information, that much. And as Pooja said, click pictures, click all that part becomes a part. Because for example, if I'm driving and say there is some memory or some twist to the plot that I can think of, and there is something that I'm seeing which is similar, that reminds me, if I click a picture when I'm writing, that makes the way you write about it will be much enhanced than what you will just imagine. Because that if that thought goes, I feel that doesn't come back. Thoughts just keep flowing, through us. But those, it's important to catch those gems when they come to you, and writing, noting it down exactly when it strikes, it's very important. I've done that, so it's really helped me. So try doing it. It works.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And Gaurav sir.
Yeah, so I agree with both of them. And the most important thing, as Aparna said, that ideas were coming at any point of time. Sometimes some of the things came to me, and then next day morning they were not coming back. So what I did is, I made a WhatsApp group where I'm the only member, and then I used to type it out. So one line which has found the place in the back of my cover, which is very catchy line, which is like a book which criminals wish you won't buy, is the tagline which we have used in the back of the cover, came to me at 2:30 in the night. So my phone was nearby. I opened the WhatsApp group where I'm the only member and typed it. So as she's saying that ideas will keep on coming. You need to make sure before they go away you capture them. That is one important thing. Second is, you need to have somebody whom you can talk to, because you may have four ways of expressing something. Let's say if you have somebody who believes in you, if you talk to him or her and tell that, okay, this is something which I want to do either this way or that way, those people who believe in you can help you. Okay, you are doing this thing right, or this is the particular thing which will work. This looks interesting or better than the first one. So somebody whom you can talk to will always help you choose the right path. And since these people believe in you, they will also give you positive vibes and positive energy, which can help you do better. And your creativity will increase, your self-confidence and self-belief will improve. And again, most important, as Aparna said, note down everything because they will come at any point of time. Find out your ways of recollecting those important gem of the ideas which are coming to you, maybe middle of night or while taking shower or wherever. You must have a way to capture them, because they don't, many times they go away and never come back, and you repent that okay,
I
something
was
important
about to
came to
say
me,
that,
but
sir.
yeah.
Because I mean, even I do the same. Even I am the only member on my WhatsApp, and whenever something comes to me, I write it down. Okay,
Yeah.
so this happens to me
So
also. And I mean, it happens to me way often that some line, even if I'm not an author, but whenever some cute line or some cute caption for my Instagram profile, let's say, or some post, and I think, and I think something is not near me, so I मेरे को तो अब वो आइडिया आ चुका है, एंड मैं कल लिख दूंगी उसको, सो
It will go away.
और मैं कल सोचते हुए इट जस्ट गोज अवे,
क्या था? Yeah.
क्या था वो. So it happens.
Vanishes. It
And-
happens to me also. It's like an idea hits you like a sledgehammer. If you don't capture it, then it's gone. It's gone forever.
Yeah. So
But this idea you guys give me, no, see, I really learned something new because I don't use this. Okay, I don't have a WhatsApp thing. I have a notes section in my hand. But this is really innovative. No way of
Yeah,
losing
you can
it.
actually
see?
on WhatsApp, you can actually do a voice recording also, right? So I made so while
Okay,
driving,
good
you just
idea.
open
Thank
WhatsApp
you.
and do a voice message to yourself.
Thank you.
Interesting.
It's
Very
something I
interesting.
learned new today. Thanks a
and I
ton, both
Me
of
sent
you.
too.
that
It's
chat
something new
on
to
top
me
of my
that you make a
on
WhatsApp
top of
group
my
in which you
WhatsApp.
are the only member. It's something totally new to me too.
Yeah.
Really?
I've never
I thought
heard this.
everybody does
I
it.
had not heard this.
Yeah. I thought everyone does it.
No.
You just make a
No.
member with a friend and then remove that friend.
Pooja, did you know this? Oh my God, something new we learned.
No, I had no idea. I've never made a WhatsApp group in which I'm the only member just to take notes. Nothing like this has
Good
ever
idea,
happened to
no,
me
but
before. It's
extremely
totally
good
new to me.
idea. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'll
moving on.
use this.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so storytelling, when we talk about storytelling, it is in itself is a skill that every author needs to have. So, how to be proficient in it and how to excel at it? Gaurav sir, let's start with you.
Yeah, so for me it is very simple that if you keep it crisp, if you don't add something just to add on, because at times people write and to make it big or lengthy or more number of pages, then at times you lose the plot. So according to me, if you are very clear in what you want to convey, you have to have very very clear thought process. And if you're clear in your thought process, write only to describe your thought process and stick to it, right? And that, I think, is the easiest way to make sure that you are writing something which is proficient, engaging, appeals to the audience you are targeting to, and that helps. So I think clarity of thought within yourself is the most important part of being proficient.
Thank you so much, sir. And Aparna ma'am.
So here, no, I think I differ a little bit with him because at least that's the way I wrote. Everyone has a different style, of course, but I feel when you're writing a story, I feel you just, I mean, that's what I did. I just flew with it. I just went on writing. And once I was done with the entire thing, that's when I sat and then I edited. How it helped me is it helps me flow with my story. So of course clarity, as you said, I had a I had my outline, I had all that ready, of course, all that was done. But when I actually started to write the story, because we're talking about storytelling here, when that started, I just went on writing. I didn't bother what I was writing. I didn't even check to see whether my grammar is right. I didn't even check to like spellings are right. I just didn't bother. I just went on writing. And by the end of it, when everything was done, that is when I actually read, and that's when I actually kind of did the changes that I required. That's after that I did my everything, like from grammar, spell check, everything was done. And there's so much I removed, so much I added, so much I changed. But when you're initially writing the story, I feel, because that is a time when your creativity is like at its peak, because you're writing a story. If at that time, if you stop to think, is this right or is this wrong, you might lose that flow that we are talking about of storytelling. Basically, I'm not talking about the outline, and I outline all that you of course have to think like every single part of it. But storytelling, I think, just flow with it. Just flow. Don't stop. After you're done, then you sit and think what happened, and then you start editing. It helps. That's helped me, but everyone different over here. So
Thank you, ma'am. And Pooja, ma'am?
Well, I think that, effective, impactful storytelling has a lot to do with structuring. Many people like to start writing their book from the middle. Many people like to first write the end, the climax, and then write backwards. So it totally, entirely depends on you when you want to start your book, but your book should be structured properly. Like Aparna was saying, your chain of thoughts, your flow, wherever it's starting from. You don't have to be worried whether it's the middle, it's the beginning, it's the end. First, you get your content together. But after that, to structure it properly, the beginning, the body, the end, in a proper, impactful manner is very, very important. Because, at the end of the day, your book has to stand out in a sea of millions of other books.
True, the structuring is important, but you need to also have in mind, like while I was, writing my book, I knew that, I'm writing a book on cyber unsafe, where this book will make you safe from unsafe. So that is how I also had cover in mind. So I knew what all will go inside the book, what is the overall idea. So from cover to, what goes inside to what is the structure, all these elements are important, because you should have all these things in mind. So if you don't have a cover in mind, somebody may help, but thought has to be yours, right? So the structuring is very, very important.
Correct.
That's what I was saying.
Absolutely. So what would you guys choose, creativity or material success? And I'm going to start with you, Aparna ma'am.
Look, I don't know why there's a choice between both of them. I don't think I would like to choose in any of them. I would want both. But see, how much ever we would love to say, oh, creativity, oh yeah, but no, in reality that doesn't really work. But I don't know why there should be a choice. I mean, the way I look at it, I don't think um, no matter how busy you are now, I mean, see, all of us are in different professions, right? I mean, think about it. We all have come up with our books, and these are different. We are different professionals, but this side of us is something we are doing along with our work, which is something
Yeah.
which is our passion. So we've not chosen, right? We are doing what is towards material success, and we are also working on our passion. So why should there be a choice? And that's how I why should there be a choice, actually? And
Because
you
sometimes
never
what
know through
happens is, yeah,
you never know, through your book you might get, I mean, why shouldn't you dream big and think that yes, that is how I will get my success too, material success as well.
because sometimes what happens is, ma'am, through following the trends, we might get successful, but at the end of the day, we won't be satisfied. Our creative level and our creative satisfaction will not be there, right? By
Yeah.
following the trends, because I mean, I don't want to, say this, but when you take the example of Tony Kakkar, let's suppose, he, I mean, his songs bring so many views on his, YouTube channels. But when I'm there and with my surroundings, nobody likes his songs, to be honest. It is trending, and he makes a lot of money with these songs, but at the end, the creative satisfaction, I don't think so, it is there. So that is why when I was drafting this question, I just wanted
Okay,
to
that's how you meant it.
yeah.
Okay. I didn't understand the context. In this context, what context you're saying, I would choose creativity.
Okay,
This
okay,
context, I'll choose creativity.
okay,
But
okay.
how I was looking at it is that you're
Yeah,
asking whether,
Yeah.
okay, are you going to go in
yeah,
totally for
you are
creative, or that's how
absolutely
I thought. So but yeah, in this context, like, I mean, of course, creativity. I wouldn't not want to give my all to what I have to, give it out there. Wouldn't be like
yeah.
just material. I wouldn't do that. That is.
Okay, okay, okay. And Pooja ma'am?
Well, I would just say that, it is pretty much hand in glove. If you've written a creatively stimulating book, then you're bound to get material success. So for me, it's hand in glove. Creativity and material success pretty much go all in all together. I still remember when I was writing my book, Yes, You Can Be a Viral Reality Show Star. I started off 5 years back. Then I wrote it and rewrote it 2 times over to finally come to the final draft of the book, which went on to become published and went on to become an Amazon bestseller. So I just feel that, if you are creative, if you're writing from the heart, if every word that you write, you're feeling it, you have complete conviction, then you're bound to get material success. There is no stopping you. And you should always try to give your creative best, because that is where it starts. If you're creative, you will get material success. If you're not creative, if you're hackneyed, if you're contrived, if you're artificial, then getting material success is a very distant dream, because the competition is fierce. Even in the author industry, even in the book publishing industry, the competition is fierce. So that's why if you're creative, if you're original, if you have something new that you're bringing to the table, then you can get material success. So definitely creativity, I will choose before material success, because that's where the journey starts. If you're creative, then you will get material success. That's what I feel.
Thank you, ma'am. And Gaurav sir?
So, when I started writing the book, my purpose was to give back to the society. I was seeing a lot of frauds happening, cyber crimes happening, and I thought, how can I help people avoid this? Because they were losing money, they were getting in trouble, and they were under stress, and they knew what to do, how to handle it, where to go, whom to report. So there was a moral responsibility to do something for the field, something for the fellow society, people, country. And that is where the ideation started. So most important thing is satisfaction, which probably can only come if you are after helping somebody, when you are creative, obviously. Because like more than the money, I think what we are probably going to gain by writing the book is that our name spreads, right? People know that we have done something, we have written this piece of art. The most happy thing is, like, when somebody gives me a call whom I don't know and tells, okay, this is something we have done well. One person from Bangalore called me saying that, okay, I have a teenage daughter, and would you take a small talk in my daughter's school? These kind of things give you more satisfaction. So idea
I
is,
completely, I completely agree with him. Even when I was writing my book, Yes, You Can Be a Viral Reality Show Star, I was dealing with a lot of people who used to call me and say, Pooja ma'am, we have gone for fake auditions. We have gone for reality shows where we've been exploited. We've been projected in a bad manner on a reality show. How do we start afresh? How do we make a right beginning? So to help people through my experiences, to do for others what nobody did for me, were my driving force to be creative and to write this book. And I completely agree with Gaurav there when he says that to help people, to reach out and to solve their problems is definitely the number one reason for me to write the book as well. And I totally, totally resonate with that, that if your book doesn't change a life, your book was not worth reading. So, one should always think about changing lives with their books.
Absolutely.
I agree. I agree. Same. I think I'll go, just to add, same thing with me, because I mean, Gaurav really hit a nerve, I guess, by saying, about that, what the book me, I mean, how it should be a part of you. The same thing where applies to me, where because my book is about my journey and how I went through. So, for me, women who are dealing with an issue like divorce in India is so huge, and the suffering and how you then empower yourself to a point where you can be alone and single and independent was huge for me. That was my goal behind writing, and it was like a self-obsessive thing where that's all I could think of, how to help, how to get them out, because I know the suffering, like we go through the same suffering. So I I totally agree with
Absolutely.
both of you all. I think it really hit a nerve, Gaurav, by your point. It was
Yeah, so
very,
I was feeling a lot of pain because people were being defrauded, right? So I was racing it. So I gave a deadline to myself that I have to complete this book in 2 months. So I wrote my
Ooh,
first draft in 2 months because I thought more I delay, more people will get frauded, right? So it should come out fast. It took time in publishing, but my writing first draft was very fast. And the driving
wow.
factor was that I wanted to help people, society. I wanted to make sure that cyber crimes comes down, and I took it as a responsibility that I have to do it. And when you become
True,
responsible, you do much better than what you actually can do in real world. So I think
true.
satisfaction is more important than anything else.
Inner
Very, very
satisfaction.
good.
Yeah, I
Very correct.
agree.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
True.
When
Inner
you're more
satisfaction.
responsible, when you're more
Yeah,
responsible, you write a more reader-oriented book. When
correct,
you're a responsible person, you think from the reader's perspective. And that's
Absolutely.
very
correct.
important to write a good book, because I'm not writing the book to humor myself. I'm writing a book which
Exactly.
a reader will enjoy, which
And I
solves my
actually
Exactly.
read,
reader's
and actually I
problems.
read my
Exactly.
book every now and then, again and again. Somehow I find
No,
it
I
interesting to
guess
read.
all of us, I guess every author would be guilty of it. How much ever they deny, I think every author would be guilty, because you need to go and see. Okay, maybe this I could have improved. Maybe that I could
Yeah.
have. I
I
think I did a
found
good
four
job. Yeah,
minor mistakes and updated them.
same thing.
At last, I can say that you guys did a great job by writing on such crucial stuff. And when I talk about you, Gaurav sir, you have written a whole book on cybercrime. And on the other hand, Aparna ma'am, you've written, I mean, I'm going to call it a self-help book for all the women out there. And Pooja ma'am, how to be successful in, in TV reality shows. It is commendable that that you guys have written on such crucial topics that needs to be, addressed. So on that note, it was such an enlightening session. I really enjoyed it. I'm feeling very positive, to be very honest. And you guys are the best. So any
Thank
last
you.
word you would like to say, Aparna ma'am?
I would just say, to everyone out there, I always say, tell your story with pride. Try to be positive in life. Never give up. Whatever happens, whichever state you are in, don't give up. Just go ahead in life with a lot of bravery and confidence that everything will fall in place. Be positive in life. One day will definitely come when you look back at your life and you'll be like, oh, did I do that? But go ahead, take small risks, enjoy your life. Just don't be just don't live your day one day to the next. Try doing something, try following your passion. It'll take you to a different world and a little different. You might create miracles for yourself, so try doing that. That's all I'd say.
Pooja ma'am?
Well, I would just like to tell everybody to pick up my book. Yes, you can be a viral reality show star, especially the people who want a breakthrough in the super competitive show business industry. I know of a lot of horror stories from the industry, and out of my own experience as an artist, I've written this book. And there's going to be a follow-up with my online webinars and then my actual award-winning reality show where I'm giving breakthrough to normal, real, regular people who have aspirations to make it big but don't know how to. So this is my little contribution to the world of books. And I hope you enjoy it. Do pick it up and do let me know your thoughts on it. Write to me. I'm always open to know how you felt about it and to your opinions. And in general, I would say that keep moving forward. Life is short, you know, you never know where we'll be tomorrow with this whole epidemic raging on us. All of a sudden, 3 years have just vanished from 2019 up until 2022. We don't know what is happening, you know, it's very freaky, it's very scary.
Correct.
So value life, and to value life and to live it to the fullest, keep moving forward, because, you know, to enjoy the maximum flavor of life, keep moving forward.
Thank you, ma'am. And Gaurav sir?
So, I would like to say that whatever problems you have, whatever pain you have, you can convert that as a fuel to do whatever you want to achieve in life, right? So, I had, in pandemic, there were issues, things were not fine. So I used all that problems and pains and, I directed those to make a energy for me to do something good. And the result was this book, Cyber Unsafe. So I would request you to read Cyber Unsafe so that you can make cyber world safe. You can avoid cyber crimes very easily in a non-technical manner, and think of great ideas like this, right? How can you make something better, something useful for others? And I think that would be the easiest way to forget your pain and convert and channelize your pain energy to doing something constructive and achieve your dreams. And if you are a budding writer, you can actually write a great book. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.